of Nazareth. Lord, we thank you for this moment, for you have made it possible for us to be here together in this place to discuss, to learn, and above all, to mature. Father, right now, we pray for as many people that are still on their way coming to this program. We ask that this program will transform their lives, and above all, it will make them to be the place or to become the business person you want them to be. In Jesus' name, amen. Wherever you're watching us, this is the Enterpreneurs Passion. I am Prophetess Janet Ejiri. Thank you for tuning in into this channel at this moment to participate in this TEP event. TEP is in South Africa, but we have our passion to visit other African or any other country all over the world. So wherever you're watching, we will be talking about business, especially Christian business. We'll be discussing today and telling them what it is to be in business. So I will be the first speaker in this moment. Wherever you're watching, don't go away, go grab your tea. We'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back, viewers. This is Prophetess Janet Ejiri. I'm still here on our workshop, the Enterpreneurs Passion. Today, I will be speaking on the 10 entrepreneurs nugget. At the same time, I will also talk more on how Christians entrepreneurs should work. In other words, we are talking about 10 entrepreneurs nuggets and how Christian entrepreneurs work. But before then, who is an entrepreneur? How do we define an entrepreneur? This is the question now. You know, so many people are in the business place, they don't know exactly what is the word entrepreneur. To me, an entrepreneur simply means a man or a woman that is in the art of trading, enterprising, selling, and buying. That is what I can put, that is what I define as an entrepreneur. So anytime you see that you have this passion to trade, to, exchange something with people, you are already an entrepreneur. But then, how will you know the kind of entrepreneur you are? And so many people have asked me this, and in my book, I called 20 Real Reasons Why I'm Not a Millionaire. I was trying to define the meaning of entrepreneurship and discovering how you can be your own kind of entrepreneur. So in that 20 reasons why, I was saying that there are reasons why we are not billionaires, and I was putting the book towards entrepreneurship for you to understand. So if you get the book, that would be nice, and you understand. But to me, like I said before, an entrepreneur is someone who have the skills to exchange, to trade with people. It doesn't matter what exactly you are trading. And this is why now, today I'm speaking on the entrepreneurs nugget. There are some things you need to know to be able to, work according to that passion. The program is called the Enterpreneurs Passion. We are saying that there are nuggets, there are some informations that are necessary. So the number one information is being an entrepreneur does not necessarily mean you love to be on the top. No. You know what? Because so many people are saying that, can I be an entrepreneur and become on the top? And this is why sometimes people miss their real entrepreneurial skills. This is why you see them doing so many things at the same time. So because they are thinking to go on top. But to me, I believe that for you to be an entrepreneur, it is better you become best in that you can do. That is to say that you should get a total satisfaction in that you can be able to do, you are doing as an entrepreneur. For example, you may be an entrepreneur in the area of, fishery. For you to become the best, I think it goes beyond you not just understanding the fishery industry, but also to understand the different kinds of fishes. Which is to say that when you understand the different kinds of fishes like tilapia and salmons and the rest, you can be able to say, okay, I am focusing on doing my entrepreneurial skills towards tilapia and or salmon or whatever I do. So that way you can be able to be the best. So that is one nugget. The second nugget is, as an entrepreneur, you need to figure out how to make your product or brands lives in the memory of your audience. This is why so many, especially Christian entrepreneurs, this is why they are having so many problems, so many challenges. That is to say that how will you figure out your product to be on the minds of people? This is why I'm going to give a biblical example, because like I said, we are not just focusing this program just for entrepreneurs. We are targeting Christian entrepreneurs. When you read the book of Luke, chapter 5, verse 1 to 7, you can see the details on your screen. There is something that happens. The Bible says something. The Bible said Jesus was teaching, and suddenly he saw two boats on the seashore, and these two boats were empty. And the Bible said the two boats belongs to Simon, and the Bible said they were not in the boat, but something happened. The Bible said when Jesus saw these two boats, Jesus decided to take permission from the owner. He went direct to Simon and said, "Lend me your boat." And what happened was, when Simon lent Jesus the empty boat that is meant for fishery, that is empty now, Jesus used it for a few hours to teach his people, to teach the people. Now, what I want to bring out there is that Simon, the boat supposed to be, in the sea fishing, but then the boat was not in the sea. But one good thing is that the boat was in the sea. Look at what I'm trying to say here. The boat was supposed to be in the sea fishing. He's supposed to use the boat, but the boat was not doing that. Rather, the boat was in the sea doing nothing. That is to say that Simon was a very good entrepreneur. Despite the fact that he was not busy, but he sighted his boat still closer to the sea. This is what I'm saying, that as an entrepreneur, how will you put your product in the mind of people around you? This is why, as a Christian, if you want to make it in the business marketplace, first thing is to identify the product you are dealing in or on, and then put it at the center. The boat was made for fishing fishes. The boat, though it was not fishing the fish, the boat was still in the seashore. So that is to say that Peter understood the skill of putting his boat in the mind of people. This is why Jesus saw it and identified that, let me use that boat. That is what I'm saying. Figure out how to make your brand to be in the minds or lives in the memories of your audience. The third step is, as an entrepreneur, business is everywhere. Business is everywhere to you. This is what I tell people, Christian entrepreneurs, like our entrepreneurs here, that your business is always closer to you. But then the problem is that the business, because you have not seen it, you have not, experienced the profit, you believe that the business is not closer to you. You believe that the business is in somewhere else. And this is where we miss it. This is why sometimes you see somebody leaving a particular office place that is cheap, going to a higher office place, rent it, and then still fails. Why? Because the business is not in the office place or whatever. The business is in you. The business is in you as a Christian entrepreneur. The business is inside you. So I'm saying here that the business is inside you because how will you think it out is the most important thing. This is what we are saying, that as an entrepreneur, use your head and think. You may not have a car, but you can still trade like someone who has a car. It's all about thinking the process. Should I use a driver? Should I use Uber? Should I use a taxi? Well, but the good thing is that you are thinking, and as you're thinking, you can still do your business. This is what I'm saying, that the business is in you. The business is everywhere. Where you are now, the business is there. So you are watching us now. The business is near where you are as a businessman or as a businesswoman. Use your head. Think. How will I bring out the business to the people? That is the third part. The fourth part is, as an entrepreneur, you have to be expansionist. Part of your business is the creation of new businesses. Selling is an art and as an entrepreneur, you have to find a way to use your heads to sell. This is where so many people fail. Selling is an art. What is the art of selling? Relationship, communication. So now, how will I sell my product if I'm not talking? How will you see TEP if we are not on TV? How will you come to TEP if we did not tell you you should come to TEP? You see, this is why when I'm doing my teaching, I use this little thing, this thing like this now. This is, to so many people, you, my viewer, are viewing it now. It's nothing. It's nothing because you don't know what it is. It's just a white paper, we didn't cut it well. But you know, as an entrepreneur, I can decide to think something about this, and as I'm thinking it out, it becomes a product. And as I'm thinking it out, I can sell it to you. The most important thing is not the card that you see. What you see is what I may have put inside the card to sell to you. So this is what I'm saying, that as an entrepreneur, the entrepreneur nugget is for you to find an act of selling. How will you present your brand to people? Is it through communication? Even if it is through communication, how will you put the communications together? Using your mind to think out, how will I sell this to people? So Christians are lacking this a lot because we pray, but we don't talk. And sometimes the Bible even said, when you pray, you should do. He didn't tell you what to do. He said, pray and do the words of God. The words of God may be in different parts, but do it. It can be through talking, it can be through communication. But one good thing is that you are doing something. Find the art of how to sell whatever you are. Welcome back, viewers. We are still here in workshop, the TEP, the Enterpreneurs Passion. Like I was discussing with us, I was saying the 10 Enterpreneurs Passion Nugget. And right now, you just came back from the break now, and I welcome you, and we also have some other entrepreneurs and businessmen and women that are already here, that you'll be seeing them soon. You have already seen some already here. So let's continue. We are talking about the 10 entrepreneurs passion, or the 10 entrepreneurs nugget. And this is, we said, the sixth aspect of it is, as an entrepreneur, you should not be proud to take advice. I have talked about it, but for some of you, our viewers who were not with us on TV, we said you should not be proud to take advice to other business people. And this is why TEP is here to help you. Maybe you are watching us now, you are battling with something. The speakers are ready and willing to help you. Maybe you are a pastor, a senior pastor, your church have failed, you are not good in business. This is why TEP is here to refer you to people that will help you. So let's go quickly to the seventh. The seventh one is, as an entrepreneur, before you make your presentation, you must be sure of the fact and believe your products. In other words, we are saying that whatever you are selling as a Christian entrepreneur, your enthusiasm or your passion or your self-confidence matters a lot. How you look matters a lot. You cannot tell me that you are selling a health product and I will see pimples on your face and I will buy that product. It's not possible. It's not going to work. You know what? Because your physical presentation look quite ugly. And this is why so many Christian people fail it, and we say we are poor, we are badly. Do you know that one of the good things that happened in the time of Jesus was that when you come to his corner, when you come to Jesus' corner as a business person, he puts you on the line you're supposed to be. We saw that there are so many rich people that were behind Jesus at the back, but you won't know because the rich people have this proud in them that they don't want to be identified with other people, especially maybe some of I know a lot of big entrepreneurs that are supposed to be here, but some of them will not be in this kind of conference with us because they will say that they are senior entrepreneurs. They want a private thing, But I want you to understand, you can't be proud and be doing this entrepreneurial. It won't go far if you're like that. This is why your physical presentation, how you look, and most times what I tell people is that when you are going to big places, big areas, it is even good for you to look bigger than what you are selling. That way people can receive you and be able to listen to what you are selling. Christians don't do this. You just see them, they just put themselves, some will not even iron their clothes. They are on their way going for business meeting. It doesn't work that way. Because somebody will look at you and say, you know what, I don't trust your product. I don't trust you. Remember that when they say that, they mean they don't trust you yourself. So that is it. The eighth aspect is that as an entrepreneur, the pride you take in your products matters a lot. Sometimes people say, like where I'm coming from, people say, I believe so much in how you are, and then I can be convinced that I can follow you. Indirectly they are saying that you don't tell me that you are rich and you are badly. I won't follow you because I don't see any good things around you. So as a Christian entrepreneur, what you need to do is that you need to have a positive mindset to be able to take pride of whatever you are representing. If it is your business, if it is your career or your ministry, it's very important to be proud of what you represent. Jesus did this, and he told them when they were about to crucify him, there's something he said, they said, King of Jews. He told the king, I'm not going to say who I am, but you have heard already who I am. And the good thing is that the king who was about to judge him referred him to who they were calling him. So indirectly, Jesus was proud, despite that he was going through the persecution time. He didn't say they shouldn't call him King of Jews. Then people started saying, you want to be a king. He accepted it. So as a Christian entrepreneur, you must be able to accept your product and make sure that as you're accepting it, be able to defend it. It's very important. Positive manner. The ninth one is that believe in your entrepreneurial skills. In other words, when you believe in your entrepreneurial skills as a Christian entrepreneur, what is going to happen to you is that you can be able to dominate the marketplace, and this is one of the things that TEP, the Enterpreneurs Passion, is going to do. To me, it doesn't matter how we look or how we are now. The good thing is that when business people who are real businessmen, who say they are real businessmen, are in anywhere, we are going to be there. We will identify themselves to be there. And this is why we have vowed to be there with them, because we understand that we are not scared. You see, I believe this thing that is the same. It's better for me to be on a flying boat than to be on a boat that is not flying. You know what? when I'm flying, when I get to the height of the flight, I may be able to find other flights that is better, so I can switch. So this is why I'm telling business Christian people that believe in your entrepreneurial skills, and when you believe it, be able to identify yourself in the corner of the business people. We are right near in Birchwood Hotel, Bosberg. You know why? This is their business center. This is where they organize businesses. And when you go out, my view, when you go out there, you're going to see a very big company nest there now. They are inside there. And they are a little bit bigger than us in number. But the fact is that I'm sure they are seeing what we are doing now. So to me, I believe that as a Christian entrepreneur, when people who don't believe in God are busy in attending conferences in business areas sites, you should go that side, because even the Bible said we should dominate. So I don't think you can be able to dominate if you are not in the exact location where domination or people are dominating. You should be in that side. You see, that is why I said earlier that Simon Bolt was on the seashore waiting for Jesus. Though Simon was not inside the boat, but the good thing is that he put his boat there. So the identification of the boat made Jesus, or indirectly influenced Jesus, to redirect his evangelistic concept, and he got himself inside the boat to preach in the boat. This is what I'm saying, that your entrepreneurial skills, you should be very proud of it, to be able to put yourself in the marketplace. Tell the marketplace what you can offer them. And we TEP have come here to stay. And this is why you're seeing this here. The third one is, as an entrepreneur, it's not just making a speech or completing a sale that have made you to become who you should be. I believe that as an entrepreneur, the skill of character and leadership is very important. That is to say that your character in the marketplace is very important. Do you know what? Christians love fighting. Some love fighting, that they'll say that I am a Christian, but I can't take this. I'm outside the church, but I can still display my real character. You see, that is where you miss it. A good entrepreneur Christian person should be able to display your leadership skills. And this is why sometimes what I do is that when people get me mad in the marketplace, what I do as Janet, I sometimes tell the person, you know what, I will not talk to you now. I can't talk to you now. I might say something that will make me, as a Christian, you devalue my Christianity value. And this is why I will not say anything. Rather, I will switch off my phone, and then I will become calm if I don't want to talk to you. You know why? Because as I'm in this marketplace, there are so many people that are watching to say, yo, that person said she's a woman of God. Do you know what she did now? She just lied to me. She just told me that in 2 hours my book will be ready, but it's now 4 hours if it's not ready. You see, that is what I don't want to find myself on. And so the best thing I will do is to switch off the phone so that we will not reach to that point. Why am I sharing this? Because Christians, many of them will fight. You see, they want you to also understand that as Christians, we are working with circumstances that's beyond our control. Do you know? But do you know that the people that are not Christians, they don't care, because some of them have some things, demons inside them. So to me, I won't allow that demon inside them to make me, as a Christian entrepreneur, to say what I'm not supposed to say. Rather, I will escape. I will come out from it, and after some time, I will call you. At your word, I will launch deeper. You see, what happened is that Peter is an entrepreneur with a fishery entrepreneur skills. He walked in the night. He have studied the waves. But then Jesus is also an entrepreneur. Jesus knew that, look, Peter, what you're suffering from is not about being professionalism. There are some things you don't just understand at this particular time, and I'm going to use my spiritual powers to come into it now. So what I'm telling you, Peter, I'm telling you right now, you have walked through the night, launch the arrows, like put your net. So my point here is that as a Christian entrepreneur, what you need to do when things have closed, all doors have closed, is to come back to the church. Look for your spiritual pastors, prophets, and discuss with them, because now you are good professional, maybe you've marketed yourself. Why don't you look for them, the real spiritual, your spiritual heads, and tell them, I have done everything I know how to do. This is now where they will use their powers, the divine prophetic powers, to intervene. So I still encourage people that when you think as a Christian entrepreneur that you can't succeed in that business, it is high time you need one good word from a very good man or woman of God. That word will save you, not just risks, but it will save your life, it will save your family, it will also save your profession or your business. So this is it. Peter and Jesus did not argue. Jesus couldn't allow Peter to put him in that arguing part. He just said, I have told you, Lord Jigga, and if you want to do, you do. If you don't want, no problem. But the good thing is that when the spiritual comes in form of physical, this is why we solicit for partners. The good thing is that at the end of the day, the Bible recorded that Peter discovered that his fishes, the fishes caught was so high that he have to solicit for partners. So to me, I believe that when your business is stuck, you approach it spiritually. The spiritual powers now is going to let let you get favored, and then you can be able to, solicit partners. So it is the spiritual powers that gives you the influence to solicit partners, or as a Christian entrepreneur. So we as Christian entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs should know that in the skills there are some things that we have to understand, that you can do the one you know how to do, but spirituality also matters. And this is why I believe that as a Christian entrepreneur, they are just advices I will give you. Get a good spiritual mentor that will be a very good friend of you. Get a good business mentor that is also in the Christian path with you. Get a good family personality, like a father or spiritual mother, to be closer to you. Get a good person that you know is making an influence to be your friend. And also get a good person that is into the health, maybe a good doctor that can advise, because working too hard can also destroy your entrepreneurial skills. And then get a good friends, just like how the Bible recommended that Job got good friends, and when he started praying for them, Job succeeded. So get a good Christian friends that will be around you, and at the same time be able to take financial advices from experts like banks and the rest of them, just for you to know how to put your money in order and to invest in future. And the last but not the least, be a Christian movable entrepreneur. Be able to, speak, work, collaborate with so many people, even those that are not Christians, to be able to make an impact. Because that way you'll be able to dominate and take over. This is it. I have come to an end. This is the Entrepreneurs Passion. But remember, we are still here in Birchwood Hotel, Bosberg. I will be bringing to you many Christian, powerful business entrepreneurs and business leaders to continue the seminar with us. Don't go, I will be right back. God bless you. Welcome back, viewers. You have just seen some great, powerful entrepreneurs on the program. Like I told you, we'll be bringing more people when some of them might have arrived. Yes, we are about to call the second speaker that will be telling us about entrepreneurship. And wherever you're watching us, you're a business entrepreneur, you're a man of God, you're battling with your church on entrepreneurship, I want you to sit and join us, and you see our details. Maybe you would love to connect with the speaker. Kindly give us your details as you see it on the screen, and definitely we'll connect you with the speaker. But right now, our second speaker on the Entrepreneurs Passion here is Bishop John Ecclesia. He's going to be here to tell us what entrepreneurship is all about. Bishop, thank you. Come to speak to the viewers and tell us.
It's a very big pleasure for me to be here today, and I think it's a blessing for us to come together to understand ourselves better. I always like to say amen because I'm a Christian.
Amen.
When we are discussing entrepreneurship, we need to understand leadership. The next word that comes as entrepreneurship is a French word that has to do with owning yourself to become what you want to become. A lot of us, especially in Africa, we have a lot of problems where people are working for people. And back in the US, we are taught to understand that to be yourself makes you have a better horizon. You become diverse in everything you do. But a lot of us are not understanding the principles of leadership. First of all, I have to explain to us right now that we have two main major types of leadership: personal leadership and influential leadership. When you not come through the process of personal leadership, it's going to be difficult for you to have the process of understanding influential leadership. You cannot, even in your home, even as a pastor, you can only influence your family, your marriage, if you already influence yourself. Personally, if you're not a leader, you cannot lead someone. When you're blind, you cannot lead people because leadership is about vision. Visionaries are leaders. Because we understand a lot of us like mission, people like mission, we like to go on a journey, but we don't have the direction. Vision is a direction that makes the journey easier for us. Whenever we try to go on a journey without direction, we stay in a place, it becomes stagnant. So I'm going to explain this for us to understand better. The principles of leadership before we go into personal influential leadership. I'm not going to lie to you, to lead is not easy. As leadership personal, you got to understand the spirit of determination. I'm not going to quit. No matter what comes, I'm not going to come here, hot waters. I'm not going to quit. No matter what the devil throwing at me, I'm not going to quit. When we start doing something, people say Rome was not built in a day. People don't understand. We want to build the Rome a day, and then when they see the brick falling, we get discouraged. If you're not determined, you are not a leader. So that personal quality of determination makes you a great leader. No matter what, like now we're supposed to have about 100 people sitting up here, and we got just like about 5 people, you're going to be discouraged. A lot of people not coming here. When you invite people to come to, I remember when I started being in the church in the US, I got few people in the garden. And the other one said, this doesn't look like a church. Let's call it a cell. I said, no, I don't call it a cell fellowship, it's a church. That's what God told me. I'm saying a situation where the perspective is affecting our perception. Perspective, what we see. Perception, what we think. What we see is affecting your thoughts. Remember, you think to lead. Remember, your thinking is your leading. So the enemy try to bring what you're looking at right now to destroy your leadership by your thoughts getting contaminated. The devil want to corrupt my thinking by what I'm looking at. Remember, determination means it's from the inside outside. So I'm going to think, I'm going to have it. Even though there are few people sitting up here, you're going to be looking at yourself that a lot of thousands of people came here today. Oh man, we got a beautiful place. We had a lot of beautiful time. It's not about the people. It's about the person. I tell you something, leadership is not about the people, it's about the person. It's that little boy there is going to learn something that's going to catapult him to the next dimension of his life tomorrow. He's going to bring more people to what? Good leadership. So this is what leadership is about. Don't be concerned about the number of people. It's about person. So determination comes in, perseverance. So now the fifth one is dare. And personally, you got to learn how to dare. Dare, just try new things, try new grounds, break new grounds. When people say that, I remember when I did something in Harvey, New York City, and I was doing that thing and I don't have money to pay for that hotel. Just like this big hotel, it's a 5-star hotel. People say you can't do something over there. Everybody run away from me when I said, can you help me with some money? I want to do. So what must you do over there? You can do it. You know you're a small boy. You can do it in a small place here. Why must you do it? You know, some people start telling you something like this. You're dreaming too big. Wake up. I met a lot of personalities in my life. I achieved a lot of things in my life. Yet I know I'm humble because I know it's not me. It's God that put the spirit of leadership. You must understand how to dare. That's where faith comes in. You gotta believe in yourself before you believe in God. The problem we try to believe God, but we don't believe in God. God is able, but you're not able. So the problem here, we gotta dare new grounds. As leaders, we must try to venture new things. Move around, move away from the box, move away from, stop thinking in the box, think away from the box, move away from your horizon, do a new thing. That's there. The last one is dynamic. Number 6. The personal quality must be dynamic. The word dynamic is dynamic, where you have to be transformational. You gotta be a mover, you gotta be flexible. A leader that's not flexible is not worthy to be a leader. You cannot lead people when you stand in one place. You got to be moving. You lead by moving. That must be a transcendent operation. That must be, you have to evaluate to devaluate. You got to do things every time. Calculating things, changing figures. That's how you become a great leader. You got to learn how to be dynamic. Now, we move from there. Very soon we're coming close to the influential leadership. When you have those qualities in the inside of you, you can influence somebody to become a good leader. Okay? So we move away from there. We move into the place objectives of leadership. Now, can I do something? Am I allowed to do something?
Yeah.
Can I borrow your son? Can I borrow your son? Nice, your son. Come over here. It's like a workshop, right?
Yeah.
This man is my target. All right? I used to tell people, Sam, there's nothing wrong. Can you go back a little bit, okay? If I'm holding a gun, which is not a gun, I'm not going to shoot your son, right? If I'm holding a gun, this man is my target. And I'm pointing the gun at this man. I aim to shoot my target. And then I got to focus so I don't miss my target. And somebody call my name. Just call me, don't.
Don't.
And then I shoot you. What happened? I missed my target because I lost my focus. What is that? It's the element that's called distraction. Whenever you are going into understanding the objectives of leadership, that's one word you must run away from: distraction. So, first of all, you must have these 3 things in line. 1, your target. 2, your aim and your focus. You have to aim and focus at your aim so you can hit your target. There's nothing wrong with our target. There's something wrong with your focus. So why people are losing what they want, their priorities are being broken down, is that they're not just missing their target, they lost their focus. There's nothing wrong with your target. Every one of us got a target as a leader. What is your target? That desire, that thing you want to achieve. That thing you want to achieve. When you don't achieve what you want to achieve, don't blame the next man. This is why people become, I don't know how I'll call it, witchcraft or something. They see another leader making a progress, they get angry, they become envious. You know why? You got distracted. Okay? So, this guy is my target, and I'm going to aim and focus on that aim so I can hit this target. So what are the 3 things, or the objectives of leadership? Number 1 is target. You must have a target. Thank you, my friend. Number 1, you must have a target. Where there's no target, there's no leadership. Where there's no target, there's no leadership. Target is a little bit different from desire. Target is your paramount desire. Your paramount desire is your target. Wherever there is no target, there's no leadership. Every leader must have something. That's why if you see a good leader, ask him what you want to achieve and what you're doing right now. If you can't tell him move away from that photo, it's not a leader. You're working with the wrong man. When you don't have a target, then you don't have a name. So I cannot join with you when you don't have a name. Because aim is something that helps me focus on my target. So what is the aim? What is the aim of we coming together? Why are we doing what we're doing right now? Why you open the school? Why you open up the church? What is the aim of the father in the family? What is the aim of the mother? Why must that God make the woman and man together to be husband and wife? What is the aim of God? God is not a fool. We must understand the aim. And then when we focus on that aim, we hit our target. Okay? Now we come into influential leadership. When you have those things, listen, influential leadership is the leadership that comes from me to you. Leadership that comes from me to you is influential. So if you see me now, the way I comb my hair, you want to comb it, I'm influencing you. Now listen, understand what I'm saying right now. We have bad leaders and good leaders. So this is why I have negative influence and positive influence. Like all the young boys going to top it, they drink and they get drunk because somebody took them there. I started smoking when I was 15 years. That's my own testimony. My cousin took me to the club and then he was smoking and they gave me a cough a lot of times. And then I get puffed and I started smoking cigarette. He taught me how to smoke cigarette. Now he influenced me the negative way. He was my leader. He was older than me. He's leading me. He's ahead of me. You cannot teach me how to smoke cigarette when you never smoked before. So he's been doing it before. Our leader's been on the ground to bring people to the ground. So you must know the ground you're taking to people. So we must understand negative and positive influences come from a good and a bad leader. So now you have to have positive influence because you're a good leader. So we have this influential leadership. Now the first thing that must come to our lives to understand is for you ever to become entrepreneur. Mean that is something about me I am selling out to them. So it's not just about you can be an entrepreneur over your family. You can be an entrepreneur over people. You sell goods, they buy things. You are influencing them. They want to buy something from you. Now some people don't understand. Entrepreneur does not mean you sell all of this water. Some entrepreneur they sell themselves. You know the model. He's a model. You pay money to get him. He's a brain. So now when we go down there, we start talking about branding. So the branding. Some people they don't read books. They just read the cover. Believe me. There's some people when they see the cover of your book, they want to open inside. But they see the cover, the picture is here, the color, everything is just mixed up. It's man, I don't want to read this one. This one is not going to be interesting. But you got good stuff in there. What failed you was your branding. So we're not going into branding. We need to understand something about branding. Amen. I like amen because I'm a Christian. Branding. Okay, we understand the three components of branding. And this is very important. It's going to help you catapult you to the next level of your business. Number one component is integrity. The first component of branding, when you start to build your own personal brand, you must, before you build a brand in this thing, you got to build your brand first before this one. The first thing is integrity. Now, what is about integrity? It's about two things, name and value. Now, look what the Bible says, the good name is worth more than rubies. So stop going for money. Go for the name. Build your name first before the money will follow your name. Money will follow your name. People buy the name, not the money. People buy the name, not the money. Watch this. When they get to the name, they will buy it. I go some places, I'm not boasting. The people want to welcome you just because of the name, not because of the money. I don't have the money. Do you understand what I'm saying? Integrity is about good name and value. Okay? The second one is investment. You know, this is what I'm talking about now. Investment. Whenever we go into being an entrepreneur or influencing people, we must understand investment. What is investment? Investment is something you're putting in to get something out. That's investment. So listen, I used to tell people, Sam, you can never be worthy when you don't invest. So you can only be rich, but you can never be worthy. Rich people are people that receive the seed, but wealthy people are people that have the fruit. Remember, in the fruit, there's another seed. So if I eat my mango and throw the fruit away, but I ate the mango and plant the seed, I just invested. The seed will grow another mango for me, and we got a lot of fruits coming up. So that's business. And the best businessman I ever seen was God. God had to sacrifice one Jesus to get a lot of Jesus back home. And I'm one of those Jesus that coming back home. So we understand that it doesn't mean good investment is not about putting everything and putting something to get everything. That's good business. Putting something to get everything. Don't put everything to get everything. You cannot put 100 and get 100 and call it a business. Business is about interest. We're going away from investment now. Amen. I like amen. Investment is about cost, capital, plus interest. So listen, if you come to somebody now, two of us were very broke. Let me tell you something about people that got the spirit of investment. We are very broke. We're not eating for 2 days. We're so hungry. And we just saw, what's his name? Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, just bump into my house. Mistakenly was just passing by, just trying to drop by. And then I look at that man, opportunity. Opportunity. Though I'm hungry, I'm not going to ask for 100. I'm going to say, I got this business proposal. Can we do this? I'm talking about 1 million. And somebody came for 100 rand. And somebody talking about 1 million. What do you think Ramaphosa would do? Give this guy. Ramaphosa can't give you 100. Give this guy, one of the bodyguard. Give this. So let's talk business. Because what? I have the spirit of investment. You see, when you discuss with tycoons, we're sitting down here, the way you come to me and say, let's discuss the business of maybe how much we're talking about. He said we're talking about 20,000. That's not a business. We are not going to be busy doing 20,000. Then we come into ourselves, he said, man of God, let us get this thing down, 1.5 million. Then we know that when you put 1.5 million into the business, we're going to have an overflow. If I put 20,000, I'm going to fight with you over maybe 45,000 or 40,000. You know, when somebody comes to your house and say you owe me 20,000, it's going to be, people are going to say, man of God, just forget about this one. You know, it's one of those things. But when you come to somebody and say, you owe me 1.5 million, man of God, so we can talk about it. How are you going to do the payment? Because 20,000 we can resolve it, right? So we're talking about branding now. The other one is investment. So after investment is index. Write down index. That's very important. You can never be a good businessman without understanding pricing. And for you to be a good businessman, you must know what to call forex. You must understand the international transaction. It is somebody that knows how much the dollar is for the rand. It is somebody that knows how much the pound is for the rand. Because an international businessman, a local businessman knows only the rand. So when he gives him the dollar, he says, hey, what is dollar? How do you do dollar? Somebody can deceive you over the dollar because you don't know the rates. You have to know what the euro says, what the pound says. That's why you know you're doing business. And that you're expanding your horizon. It's not about South Africa, it's about international. Everything you do, if it's only your country, it is only your people, then you're not a good businessman. If you look at the Bible, a lot of good business people over there. Solomon had to trade silver with Ethiopia, trade business with the Jordan, trade business with other people. Because what if you can't cross your boundaries, then you're not a good businessman. So understand price index. You must understand when price change and when it's falling. Recently, the US got down now, I think it's about 14, right? It was 15 last month. So you should know how much is a dollar to start. Somebody comes in and says, give me 15, I want to change the money the other time. The man says, no, it's 12 now. I say, you lying, don't lie. Don't lie here. Because I know it's 14. It's 14.5, right? Then now you're telling me it's 12. You cannot lie to me because I'm a businessman. Though I'm a pastor, I know everything. You know, pastors are very afraid when people call them businessmen, they are scared. What is business? When you're busy doing something, the Bible says, Jesus said, occupy till I come, do business till I come. Idle man is standing this way. Even when I'm preaching, I'm doing business, I'm busy. So the price index, you must understand regulations and stability. Okay? So now, when we move away from personal branding, we'll go out influential branding. What time is myself going to influence people? That takes me to media. Media. I mean, if the paper can carry any information about my business, then I'm not influential. If I look the Daily Sun, I can't find the name of your company there, then you're not influential. If you can't influence South Africa, how then can you influence the Europe? I mean, even they have community papers right now, right? If your business is not in the community paper, then you're not influencing the community. We're talking about media. So now for you to, from your personal branding, to start impacting other people, influencing other people, there must be media involved. And then media is in 3 dimensions, where you have influential leadership. In media, you have 3 dimensions. Number 1 is TV. TV means television. Number 2 is the radio. And number 3 in the media is the press. So it's what? It's a TV, It's a radio, it's a press. That's all about media. Is anybody going to tell something else about media? It's not there. It's about TV, it's about radio, it's about press. This is all about the media. So when we're talking about the TV, if you're not able to get to the TV, you can able to get your business or what you do on the radio. If you're not able to get on the radio, you can get on the newspapers. And then we have in the press, we have other medias that we have social media. When you have the Facebook, the WhatsApp, whatever you have down there, the Instagram and other things. Those ones are the social media. Those ones help to boost your branding. So we are doing this thing. If you don't have all this thing I'm just saying right now, if you don't have a target, it is come to naught. The objective of leadership is target. You must have your target. And then in target, which I'm not going to have time to discuss with us, we have primary and we have secondary target. And we have tertiary target. So the primary target is about your first fruit, about yourself, branding yourself. Your secondary target is influencing the people around you. And then what? The tertiary target is influencing the people beyond your horizon. So a lot of people hear about you, you've never seen them before. So that's your good leader. You're influencing people, but they've never seen you before. They can watch you on the TV. Now, I say Ramaphosa never seen me before, but I know Ramaphosa. There are a lot of good, the richest man can anybody tell me where Africa will fall into about the wealth of the world? We fall into number 4. Now we were number 5, but now we're number 4. And the richest man in Africa is not even a Christian, and that's a shame. That's a shame. The richest man in Africa is not a Christian. The richest man in Africa is from Nigeria. His name is Dangote. You can Google and find out. What made him the richest man? He was able to expand his horizon. He's got businesses all over the world, not only in Africa. So money is coming in pounds, money is coming in euro, money is coming in dollars, money is coming in rands, money is coming everywhere. So it's difficult for him to be down. He's always going to be up there. So you understand. So in Africa, we got the 4th person in the world that is leading, but it's not still good. Because Africa, we are pioneers of business. Can I tell you the truth? I did a research on how business started. Gold and everything was dug out from Africa. The richest guy in the world was from Africa. He's from Mali. Y'all know the man, right? That's good business people. He's from Mali. He trade Mali to Saudi Arabia. People come everywhere to buy his gold. Not only gold, he was digging out what? Silver in that Mali. And that Mali is one of the poorest countries in Africa. But it was the richest place in the world. Not in Africa, in the world. That Mali was richer than Egypt. So it was those days when Mali became poor that Egyptians started taking them for slavery. They were now building the pyramid. The pyramid of Egypt was built by Malians, the black slaves. Before ever the Jews surfaced and become another slave, that was the black slave that were Malians. Because the man died, the richest man in the world died, but he was not able to extend the heritage to the children. The children was captured by rebellious kingdoms. The empire was broken. So understand, building a business empire starts with you. And it starts with your decision. Matesa, we all using Facebook today. Can anybody tell me how Facebook started? Let's discuss how Facebook started. This Facebook was started in the university. They said, let us form a site where we can be, just in a group of people in the school. From there, they added somebody. They said, why did you add somebody here? Why did you add this one? This one is not in our class. They said, let's allow them. From there, Facebook moved from the US, entered into the Europe, ended up everywhere. Facebook today, everywhere. Even, what's his name? The founder of Facebook. Mark, Zach, yeah. This man said something. Though I started this whole thing by a fluke, at the point I discovered a target. Do you know how much this guy gets from Google? He's a billionaire, one of the richest men on earth. How can you do something? Your mind. Our mind can travel faster than our bodies. Our mind can travel faster than the speed of light. That's why I can be in Japan while I'm standing here. I can be in the US. My mind can be thinking Japan while I'm here. Your mind can travel. Your mind don't need a plane ticket. Don't need a plane ticket to fly. The mind can do a lot of research. But the problem is that when the scientists are proving this, the mind of a man is only being used 1.8%. That's a shame. What we can do. Yet we are boasting 1.8. The rockets, the space shuttle, the medicine, 1.8. If you tell me it's 50%, I'm going to say it comes about 1.8, not even 2%. So that means that part of our brain that's not being used. When is it going to be used? The problem we got is that instead of going forward, there is no innovation. Now I'm going to take it before I leave there. The 4 dimensions of creation. As a leader, you must be creative. You must be creative. You must be creative. Listen, my Bible says Genesis chapter 1, verse number 1. It says, in the beginning, God created. For you to begin as a leader, you must create. The first dimension is a dimension of initiation. There are 3 dimensions. Number 1 is initiation. What is initiation? When your mind, the perception of your mind is coming to engage the perspective of your eyes. What you see in perspective, what you see in perception, what you think. When what you think can start going into what you see right now, how can I transform this water and put it in? Listen, normally this water is not about how many liters here. Listen, this water, local business. This thing can cost me maybe 20 or 25 francs, right? Now, this thing can cost me 25 francs, but it's just how many? 1 cup of water here. Somebody said, listen, this plastic, I can get it for 3 rand. This whole thing, I can get it for 3 rand. I put the water inside, I sell it 25 rand. Funny. What is creative? It is creative for me, it is handy. I can put it in my jacket, I can go walk around with it. So now instead of me going around looking for tap to get water, I got the water, so for me, no time, I got to pay the money. Because somebody's creation is making work for him and taking work from me. Watch this. It's either you're losing or you're gaining. Somebody's taking your money. If you don't believe me, this hall, you paid for this place, right? Somebody's built this house, somebody's taking your money. So if you don't want that person to take your money, you have to build your own so you can take people's money too. So now the first thing is initiation. You have to put your mind into anything about initiation is about the mind of a man getting into the perspective, what is around you. When my mind adapts in that change, it is called innovation. You innovate things in the mind. As a leader, you must have the innovative principle. A principle that your mind can read and hold things. You cannot forgive yourself when you always forget what you want to do. People go on remind you, remember you said you're going to do this? Oh yes, I remember. You're not a good leader. And the last one is invention. 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 Invention is bringing to pass what you've been innovated. What has been innovated when it's being introduced is called invention. Now, invention is what you call it. Invention is this water. I tell you something, during the 70s, we don't have it like this. Now, we got projector, we got cameras. During those days, we have the big camera. We don't have color. We are black and white during the 70s. But now, invention means bringing something new on table. So when we sit down together as leaders, we begin to ask ourselves, what is there that is not there? This observation principle. If I look at you right now, I'll tell you that if we can do this thing like this, we can add something. Innovation is coming in. And then invention is after we did that thing, we bring it out. Invention is what everybody sees. But as a leader, what you see is your initiation and innovation. What everybody sees is your invention. Can I take you back to media? I was discussing with somebody. People are running TV, television stations. I come to South Africa, I find out, I listen to their news. If you look at the media, let's come about the TV. TV media, you find out that majority of the people are interested in is entertainment, news, and sports. And then, soapies. That's where entertainment is. Soapies and everything. Yeah, but let me explain something to you. Do you know the TV news of South Africa is very appalling? I'm sorry to say this. I've stopped watching SABC, ETV News. I'm watching CNN and BBC. Why I don't watch those news is they are only sentimental. What is news? News is getting everything new from everywhere. But now the problem is that the news always ends in South Africa. The only international news you're gonna have there is what? Just a flip. Maybe what Trump said. Two news from international. Every other news is what? Is around here. And they don't have a news station. Can you imagine you open up a TV news station and have a correspondent in the US that will be sending you information? So you're going to be shooting live what is happening in the US, what is happening in Australia. It is possible. See, listen to me. When you have this, it's called an invention. You are going to beat ETV. You are going to beat all the TV because everybody want to watch the TV because this TV is what standard. So how do you know you're winning? People start to copy you. Before you know, ETV start to pay you money to borrow some of your script. ETV will pay you money to borrow some of your news. So ETV will send their journalists to you, say, want to pick some of your news, please. They have to pay money. And you have to air before them. They will not air before you because you are the source. So this is what is happening in the media. The problem is that there is no competition. Where there is no innovation, read my lips. Where there is no innovation, there is no competition. When people are not bringing up new things, there is no competition. If we are doing the old thing, we are used to the old thing, nobody is going to compete you. Do you know competition is about me and you doing the same thing in the same lane? But if I'm only one running 200 meters, nobody can compete with me. But if we are 5 and 6 running the same 200 meters, we are competing for the target. So we need to understand, leadership is about your own decision. But for you to lead, you must follow your mind. You must follow. You must be a good follower. You must not necessarily follow people, but you can follow your decision. Follow your thoughts to be a good leader. Thank you very much.
I've just heard from the Bishop, a powerful businessman all the way from the US, but currently we're just here in South Africa. And this is it, my viewers. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We'll be bringing to you more speakers. Remember, you're watching TEP, the Enterpreneurs Passion. And for you that is watching it now, don't go away. We'll be coming back. Thank you. Welcome back, viewers. Just as actually we were going to break, and oh my God, for some of you who are not here, we just had a wonderful time, tea time networking, and I will be calling the next speaker our viewers. He is a man of God, a powerful man of God, an apostle, and also a business leader, an apostle with the mindset of business. You have a very powerful group online that so many pastors all over the world. It's called Champions of Church Alive here. But he's here to educate us more about entrepreneurship. Our speakers are really powerful people, like the last one that just spoke, Bishop F. Dom. You can hear how he was, his accent, that he's all the way from the US. I'm sure you, our US viewers, are really happy now. But right now, Apostle is from South Africa. He's going to tell us how the business or entrepreneurship thing is done, not just in South Africa, but all over the world. Apostle Musa, welcome to TEP. God bless
you. Let me greet all the viewers and all the ladies and gentlemen who are here. I want to appreciate Pastor Janet for her generous welcome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. Okay, I'll be talking to you about the importance of Christians becoming entrepreneurs. First of all, The definition of an entrepreneur. What is the definition? An entrepreneur is an innovator. That's the first thing. An entrepreneur is an innovator, a source of new ideas. An entrepreneur is a business person. An entrepreneur is someone that is highly creative. An entrepreneur is a thinker. Entrepreneur is a great thinker, someone that can think positively. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, you must be an innovator. Some of the speakers here, they did mention a few things that I'm going to talk about, and I appreciate that. Now, why then we as Christians should be entrepreneurs? Firstly, as a Christian, you are the light, which means you present your presence as a leader, as a family, as a head of your family, and as a leader to your relatives, not only your family, your relatives, your neighbors, your community, your government. You need to understand that you are a solution provider to whatever challenges that people might be facing in the environment where you are. In other words, you must have influence in your sphere to bring about good change and to bring about hope. Now, the second point is the government need more and more people to create jobs, and we Christians have that capability and that capacity to create those jobs, as we know in the Word of God in Philippians chapter 2, verse 5. We are creative. We have the capability. We can do all things through Christ. Now, the government officials must know that if they want intelligent people, creative people, and innovators, they must come to the church and find those kind of people in the church. Because the church is a wealthy place. The church is full of gifted and anointed people. The church is full of creative people. More especially that we are above the world in every way. We are seated with Christ in heavenly places. We can think as Christ can think. We are people that can think and bring things into pass. The third point, because of the blood covenant that we have with God, He says He will set our people free from the waterless pit in exile. Waterless pit is poverty, sickness, and all the things that you do not want, unemployment and other things. Now, as entrepreneurs, we come to that space, we feel that space where we become a solution by creating jobs for people, by starting companies and businesses that are going to create employment for our people, and by so doing we eradicate poverty. Now,